Let that magic mango chase my blues away. I know that I'll be among my friends. Mike's where the page goes live again.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Guess who walked over to see me? Our little boy Louie. He knows the drill, man. He's trained. As soon as I go live, he walks over. So good morning, everyone. Hey, Ruby. This is we're watching the Outer Banks here, Kitty Hawk. We have some big winds rolling in off the Atlantic. We're going to show you. What's up, Rick? Linda. Yeah, the Upper Panhandle got some pretty big rains and storms yesterday, especially through Charleston, and our mid-level low brought up a lot of energy, obviously, to the Carolinas for rain. We're going to go over all that. So Louie's going to say goodbye. Say bye, Louie. See, say right there. Say hi, buddy. Can you wave? He's trying. I'm trying to teach him how to wave. Can you wave? Wave. All right, so what's cooking, everybody? All right, well, and I got my shirt on. Look at that. I showed everybody it came in the mail. I was so excited. So now I just have Louie hair on it. All right, cool. What's up, Whitney? All right, so here we go. There we go. We close this window down. Let's show you windy. This is what's going on right now. This is lower level winds, but definitely a windy day across the Carolinas. That was what we were just showing just now. Actually, Kitty Hawk here. It's actually windier on the southern Outer Banks. But that's happening. That's going to be going on the next day or so as our low pressure slowly retreats. And by Saturday, look at that. Things are pretty quiet. Again, we're watching moisture in Texas, Louisiana, Whitney. But as far as Mississippi eastward, things look pretty quiet, at least through most of the weekend. So if anybody's got Memorial Day plans, doesn't look too bad. Actually, look at this little low pressure spins back around. What's up with that? It's really nothing, but that's Sunday 1 o'clock. Huh. It's interesting. You gotta love the tropics. They're always changing. That little low pops off of there and hangs around right here. Huh. I'll have to look at that. We'll have to digest that. So anyway, hey, it's wet, Sharon. Correct. Lots of storms. In fact, I got the radar loop up. Check it out. Here's the current radar. So unfortunately, we got this push of moisture coming up through the Atlantic again, and a little bit more eastern North Carolina this morning, but still it's drifting its way inland, and we got a lot of flash flood warnings going on right now. Unfortunately, some of the longer range radars I showed earlier has this stretching into tomorrow afternoon. Jason, I get that a lot. And I don't have my Louis cup today, by the way. Somebody asked. I got my Earnhardt cup. Look at that. I'm an old Earnhardt fan. NASCAR last night. If Kyle Busch did what he did to Dale Earnhardt, there would have been more than a middle finger. That's for sure. Yeah, hey, I will, Anthony. Yeah, we're going to talk about the tropics. Hey, Ben. Yeah, lots of rain, man. I'll tell you what. All right, so let's take a look at that. Here's a current look, too, by the way. I clicked on this earlier. This just happened about, less than an hour ago. But we got flash flood warnings for many counties in central North Carolina. Many counties. Almost 10 counties are under a flash flood warning currently. So that's ongoing, unfortunately. And it's going to continue. So let's close out that. Let's go back to the map here real quick. We kind of bounce all around. If you're new to the website, hey, what's cooking? Hey, what's up, Betsy? Sandy, don't scratch my face. I'm a big face toucher. Oh, you do, Neva? Are you kidding me? Awesome. That's right, Whitney. He was the man. I actually have. I'm friends with Danny Stockman, the crew chief. He was the crew chief for Austin Dillon. He took over the 3-car. I didn't really do what we were hoping with that 3-car, but Hey Annie, yeah, Michigan. We got so a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't want to bounce around too much, but we actually had a fan share. Let me do this before I accidentally close it. So Jameson Glod, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. Louis wants back up. Sorry, buddy, I gotta do work. Uh, I'll share his page. He shared it to me, but he has a lot of pictures, a lot of drone footage from the Midland area floods yesterday from those dams breaking. And I'll share it, but he took some pretty incredible. I'm kind of fast forwarding it now, but a lot of homes, businesses underwater, and it was a sad story for many folks up there when those dams breached the other night. So I'll share this again. It's Jameson Glod. You can look him up on Facebook, and he's got a lot of pictures. A lot of drone footage. You can see cars underwater, houses underwater. So terrible sights coming out of Michigan, and that was due to the heavy rains they got up there. And we had those dams failed. So again, it's Jameson Glod. You can check it out. He's got a lot of pictures. Hospital underwater. This one was kind of interesting. Looks like the first floor of the hospital is underwater. You can see the stop sign here. Water up to the stop sign. That's not a good sign. And that was in Midland. So I'll share that if you guys want to see more footage that was shared from a fan. So it's probably something you haven't seen on the news. So we got some cool fans that share a lot of information. All right, so let's close that out. So let's look short term. I got a little tropics to talk about. Before I lose everybody, I had a couple people think I was hyping, but you know what? This is what we do here at Mike's Weather Page. We have the freedom to go long term and look for the next spots to watch, and I think most of the time we're right, and we're never going to be right all the time, ever. It's impossible. But there are indications that we got a couple spots that are maybe brewing, but nothing to stress about. So let me get that out. Whitney. I don't know why Whitney. That's the name of my bank. Maybe that's why I think it's. Every time I see it, I think it's my bank. Maybe I don't know. Hey, Mary Beth, what's cooking? Ogre Coke. Yeah, Ruth, you were the heart of Dorian there. What's that? All right, let me get my coffee. All right, so we're going to talk about the tropics in just a minute. But bottom line, if you're coming in and you're worried about the tropics, there's nothing showing up on the tropics to worry about. So I, definitely. Definitely didn't want to get that point across, but I'll go over all that here coming up because it is the tropics, and things brew. So, all right, so let's look at long range. Unfortunately, here the radar. Let's look at the flood map here. This is for today. This one got posted earlier. This is your flood potential, and unfortunately, still the Appalachians. We still have a rain threat through tomorrow morning for flooding. So this is the area we're watching today, and we got one more day of rain. Let's look at some radar and see what kind of radar we got coming for the next day or so. Let's look at the whole U.S. because everybody doesn't all live in the same spot. So. Vin, no, I don't really put out tropical outlooks. I never was a big fan of them, and I'm kind of that rebel like many of you guys, and think that they don't. Sometimes they don't pan out, and they always adjust them halfway every other week. It seems like so. So yeah, the only thing that Katrina, there's no big weather rolling in yet. Ogle, you're gonna get 7,000 gas. Where are you gonna put it? So yeah, I mean, today's a big day. The National Weather Service Hurricane Center puts out their predictions for the season. Hey, Casper, what's up? Good morning, Crystal. I don't know. So anyway, the National Hurricane Center will be putting out their predictions today, and everybody's predictions have been above average. Just put it to you that way. There's been 7, 8, or 9 hurricane predictions so far this season. They've all been above normal. So Whether that means anything, we'll see. But there is a lot of chatter that the main development region is going to be a lot of favorable conditions for storms this season, and unfortunately, that means hurricanes. So, but anyway, let's look at short-term radar here. This is let's see. So here's 9 o'clock. Let me just go hour by hour. So there's 10 o'clock. Every frame's an hour, and you can see the rains are continuing. Right, so this is 4 o'clock tonight. Look, so we still have rains developing here, unfortunately, and they're going to be pulling up through, Virginia, even into West Virginia. So the next, unfortunately today, rains are not looking like they're going to back down. They last through the night, and then we get a second wave. Now, see that low pressure kind of gets a kick off to the east, and the good news is it looks like middle North Carolina, your rains are going to end this evening. Hopefully, Eastern Carolina, there could be a band setting up. I've been watching this. There could be one final band of rain pushing up through early morning tomorrow. And then hopefully, see all this push kind of pushes everything out of here. So it looks like middle Carolina, Western Carolina rains are going to end by this evening tonight. And then we got one final push of rain. It's going to spiral through early morning tomorrow. That's been the pattern. And it could be a little bit drier tomorrow. So there's that one. Let's look at the NAM a little bit longer. It's showing the same thing. We'll let these things load, as Casper reminds me. There we go. And then we'll see what you guys are saying. Cool, man. Bobby, you ready for that drainage? Central Florida, yeah, we got some storms coming. I'll show Florida here in a minute. Matter of fact, real quick, so I don't lose track. When I get a thought, I got to hit it quick. Here's your storm potential map for today. Now, yesterday we had some pretty rough weather in Charleston, and that was because that low pressure was spinning up little popcorn storms up through the Panhandle and around. And we got another little spot to watch today. These are the storms rolling off the Atlantic, which we showed earlier this morning, and you can still see them out here brewing. Right here. So this is South Carolina, Charleston, a little bit more, probably Charleston North right now, but these things are going to get daytime heating. So the storm threat's a little higher here for eastern North Carolina. That's current radar. And then we do have a shot for storms later tonight in South Florida. In fact, lightning. Not sure we've had a lot of lightning this year, but I saw the couple reports that we could have some high threats of lightning in South Florida today. So that's the official start of summer when you get lightning, right? Good thunderstorm. Never hurt anybody. So that's the two. Of course, we got the Midwest here. We don't mean to ignore those folks, but I think I have about 100,000 followers here and about 5 here. So, hey, the Agua, I don't know. I remember that show. Yeah, Whitney's. Okay, I can't say Whitney. I get $1 every time. Yeah, Stacy, Jacksonville, rain. All right, so let's go back to radar. So here's your rains. This is through today, same time frame through tonight. This is tonight. So again, tonight rains are going to continue in Carolina, but what we're going to see is it kind of get a little push here in the morning. So same deal. Friday 1 a.m. Here's that line. This is what the HRR showed. This is the NAM. So when you get model consistency, you feel pretty confident. And there's that rain pushing off by tomorrow morning. So again, it looks like the Carolina rains are going to end by tonight. One final push in the early morning hours off the coast. And then going into tomorrow, not a lot. There's little showers might roll through tomorrow afternoon. But they're moving quick. There's our low. This is what the Euro is showing, actually. Crazy, right? There's that mid-level low. And as we watched with Barry last year, and all our Cape Verde systems, when these mid-level lows sometimes plop onto over water, they have a chance to spin up. And there you go. So look at that. So Eastern Carolina, you're going to get Saturday as this thing exits on out. So again, in a nutshell, rains continue through today. Carolina's northward. They're going to start to end tonight. We're going to have one final band in the morning tomorrow, push its way eastward as our low starts to race on out of here. One final little backside of this low pressure is going to exit with our low, and that's going to put rain chances throughout the day tomorrow, spotty rains, and then maybe one final push of rains upper South Carolina, lower North Carolina on Saturday morning. And there it goes. Bye-bye. So should be pretty decent. Well, dry in the south, no doubt. But overall, dry on Saturday. So again, the crazy thing, I just saw that. So when that low pressure escapes Saturday, we could have a little bit of that low pressure hanging around. I mean, it's hot. It's not. I mean, not really low pressure. 10, 13 millibar, but could have a little spinach out there in the Atlantic. This is Saturday, but nothing becomes of it. So no stress. And here's that next little bubble we're watching. So let's talk about that. So here's long range Euro. All right, let's do that. Let's see what you're saying. Hey, what's up, Telford? Got NASCAR last night, man. It was a pretty exciting race. I must admit though, I didn't make it through the end of it. Oh my goodness. Yep. Yeah, I did, Whitney. We saw that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the tropics now before I lose everybody. So this is looking at 10 days out. 10 days, everybody laughs at 10-day forecast, especially I did not, Jennifer. All right, so far the weather's been making sense. All right, so Memorial Day weekend again. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll talk tropics. Memorial Day forecast. There's really no big weather coming in, no big fronts. So any rain that's expected, it's going to be very spotty. Nothing really organized, which is good news, especially if you guys have plans. So let's show you real quick. This is your going into Friday. This is Saturday. Going into Saturday, things start to really dry out. So Saturday, very, very dry in the south. A little bit of lingering rain Saturday morning up here. There's your afternoon thunderstorms going into Sunday. And very light rain Sunday into Monday. And maybe the next front's inching its way. This is Monday morning, so could be a little rain. That's that rain we talked about, Whitney, for Louisiana. So again, Memorial Day looks kind of wet. Louisiana into Texas northward. So there's your line. So that's Memorial Day right here. So that's been pretty consistent. Louisiana northward and a little bit in Texas here. This whole general area could have rain one day on Memorial Day, but south and east pretty dry. All right, tropics. Let's go to Levi's site real quick. Everybody's talking about the GFS. GFS is showing consistently this whole Central America setup down here. Usually when we get this pattern of lowering pressures in Central America, models have a hard time figuring out if we're going to have a system on the Pacific side or the Atlantic side. So that's always common. Every year we talk about this. Crystal, no, I'm not. That'll be interesting, 30%. Southwest Florida, Cindy, yeah, you got a chance for storms today. All right, so this is what we're watching. This is a general pattern here. Low pressures, long way down the road, but this is all timing around the start of hurricane season, June 1st. So we have a little bit of a cutoff low here too. So there's three areas. I talked a little bit about this yesterday with our little supporter chat room. Here's that low pressure coming off. All right, so the Gulf spot. I read a lot of people talking about it. Doesn't appear there's enough support to really talk a lot about anything in the Gulf in the next 10 days. This low pressure that we're seeing come off the northeast with a little bit of lingering low here. There's a spot here that we're going to be watching, basically, and then we're going to watch this. And here you can kind of see it. There's that low pressure coming off New England. But down the road, a GFS has basically been showing something pop up out of this whole general area down here. And every model running now for a couple of days. I didn't want to talk about it yet, but when you get a lot of model support, it's worth mentioning. So So there's last night's run. Here's your 18Z run last night. Here's yesterday's 12Z run. I mean, so it's very, 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 very consistent. Very consistent. So it's worth mentioning. The last several runs of the GFS show some sort of low pressure coming up. And here's bottom line. Here's the Pacific Storm too. So it's tricky. But when you have this whole general low pressure area, sometimes the models get tricked, and we'll have a storm on the Pacific side or the Western Caribbean side. So that's what everybody's buzzing about. There's not enough consistency to even remotely get worried about it. Timing would be June 1st-ish, start of hurricane season. And here's that other area right here. So that was the other little spot I showed. A lot of the models the last couple days showed a little development here south of Bermuda, kind of in harmless Atlantic waters, but a lot of the models had it going off to the east. But there's a big high pressure here. And the Euro overnight actually made the most sense. And if you rewind it here, so here's that. so much to look at, and there's nothing to worry about. So, hey, Ken Dolan. Yeah, Cindy, the Gulf temps are bouncing around, man. They go from hot to cold to hot to cold. So here's that little low area the Euro showing, but no, again, there's really no support of that thing organizing. So that's briefly being watched by a few people. This is through next Wednesday. I talked about this yesterday. This is the general low air pressure spot the Euro's been showing, and the last run has it generally moving around the high pressure, which makes sense to me. Whether or not it has any time to develop, don't know, but it's just a general low pressure spot. So nothing to stress about again. Looks like a little guy right here, doesn't it? Look at that. It's Bertha. So that's, it's interesting to watch. I like to look long range, just give everybody a heads up where we could be looking at things next. So that's, general low pressure area. And then the Euro is not showing too much down south. So let me show you all kinds of ensembles on the other spots. So two, three little spots, three little birds. Bob Marley sings it best. We got the little bit of spot in the Gulf midweek next week. Very little support. And I did want to show you back on Levi's site. The CMC is starting to show. See, everybody's showing that general low pressure area going into June 1st, but the CMC at the last run here started bringing up a little low pressure area. So you got two models now, GFS, and there's a little vorticity spinach. So, and it's in the same time frame basically as the GFS is. So anyway, casually watching that, but I like to point it out because that's what we do. Right. So, time to get a tan crystal. Go for it. Dragon launch on May 27th. Eric, yeah, listen, kind of hard. There's really, we do have a front coming down. I don't know if it's going to make it here in Florida. Doesn't look like it. So, we got a little high, there's not a huge weather system that at this point could hopefully mess up the launch. So just normal weather patterns, that we get in Florida. But there's no signs of a front. The fronts are not really making it down anymore. That means the weather's gonna start getting hot, humid, less shear, tropics. So I'm not sure we're gonna see many more fronts make its way through Florida. Here's the European ensemble map, and there's that general area here that we're watching. Not showing much development, which is good. And there are a few stray ensembles now showing up down in Central America, but just a couple. So that's, not a lot of support, but there is at least a couple there to look at. So And there's really nothing in the Gulf here, so yeah. But that, just something to watch. Too far away to speculate always, but in the short term, obviously we got big weather happening for our friends in the Carolinas, and you could look at that. You could still see that low pressure. Look at that spinning. It's crazy. This low pressure has been spinning up here. I called it a land cane yesterday, but it's spinning away. Look at that, bringing in that moisture. Look at that. This is live. We can get a good look here at the DuPage, College of DuPage. I don't know how to pronounce that either. It could be French. I don't know. All right, so let's take a look here. We can zoom in. Maybe, I don't think that one's, this might be good. We'll see what this one looks like. See if we get show some spinach here. Let me put on a bunch of frames so we can really look at it. Well, we have to wait because there's nighttime. So we go 48 frames. There we go. All right, so we'll leave this up. Let's see what you guys are saying. That's the spinach. Look at that sucker, huh? That's crazy. It's a land cane right over top of Tennessee and Kentucky, hanging out at Jack Daniels. Okay. I'm not sure, Jonathan. Tropical intensity map. I have that linked now. And that's basically shows you the what if there were a system, how the conditions are. Like the Barron Hurricane Index is another one that kind of basically shows you that overall conditions with water temperatures and shear and other factors, I assume. But I have those linked. I'll show them here in a minute. So anyway, there's spinach. Overwash on Highway 12 on Hatteras Island, Cindy. Yes, I believe it. But there you go. That's crazy, isn't it? Look at this. Let's get a little closer here to that spinach. Let's see if we can do this. Might be a good one here. There we go. So this is our land cane. It's incredible. This is happening over land. It's just a mid-level low pressure system. It's going to plop down on the Atlantic here over the weekend and kind of curve back down around. There's really no model showing any development. Hey, Melbourne, what's up, Diane? There you go, Vin, man. Great analysis there. So we'll watch this little cutoff low the next couple days as it lands on the ocean. Here's Sunday. There it is right here. And yeah, brief little window over the Atlantic. There's no really models showing any sort of development, but I saw it here on the this is Sunday. So yeah, it'll kind of look like a little low pressure. There's a little spinach out there. Nothing organized though to worry about. It'll be very broad. There's a word for you. All right, so anything else cooking out there? So we're watching a few little spots to watch. Nothing yet to really get too worked up about. Latest Euro does show that general low pressure area drifting off northwest. We'll watch that, and then we'll watch down here. But that's about it for now. Nuts! No, it's not, Cindy. It's not a real thing. Matter of fact, if I Google land cane, it probably won't even come up. Oh, it is it's on the Urban Dictionary. What is the Urban Dictionary? Is that like fake? Oh, somebody's using. So this guy said it's a social media name. Maybe I'm to blame. I'm using the social media meteorological phrase land cane. So it's fake. Fake news. Urban Dictionary. A large cyclonic storm that, in spite of development over land of being cold coordinated, the media seems to think it ought to be given the name the Land King. I wonder if I type up Land King Mike's weather page if I was quoted somewhere. Sometimes I get. Oh yeah, look at this. March 12th, 2019. TheNewsHerald.com out of Panama City. So somebody up in Panama City wrote about Mike's weather page. And look at this. It's a storm that's been dubbed, I'm trying to highlight it here. A storm that's been dubbed the Land King, including Florida-based weather site Mike's weather page. That was last year. So hey, I'm consistent. That's right, Gail. I can say any dang thing I want. We can make up names and be wrong, and people hate us, and they still come back for more, right? No, we take it very serious. And we got a lot of new fans, so I appreciate it, everybody. Thank you very much. We're going to be here all hurricane season. I'll never let you down, and we will be tracking these things 24/7. Right now, we're in a little lull. Arthur's actually bringing a little weather right now to Bermuda. A little bit, not a lot, but they're getting a little wind and rain. We can take a look at that real quick because we have friends in Bermuda. I assume this one would probably click on it. It's a wide angle. Sarah, you want to say hi? Huh? Come here. All right, so here we'll take a look at Bermuda. So, it kind of blew through. You got clothes on, right? Say hi.
Hi.
She actually got her hair combed. So we're doing a drive-by goodbye for 5th grade. She's graduating 5th grade today, right?
Yeah.
New class, new school? Yep, I got my weather page on. New school next year, right? Say hi, everybody. Look at everybody. Yeah. So we're doing that kind of a sad ending to 8th grade for Emily and 5th grade. But hey, it is what it is, right? Anyway, all right, what else is cooking? Hey, Erin, she says hi. She loves weather. So I got my weather shirt on, and she pointed at it. She goes, Mike's weather page. All right, so there's that. I want to show you one more thing here before I forgot. What the heck was it? I don't know. Cool. Hey, Loretta, what's happening? Oh, by the way, the app users. That's what I wanted to remind everybody. Anybody with an Apple app, you got a new version now. Oh, and I actually sent a alert out. Look at that. You can see it. It says, see Mike's weather page? Well, you can't really read it, but it says download new version 2.1, and now you can watch YouTube videos on your app. So I think you got to download it, the new version. But hey, it's pretty cool. You can watch it. You can go back and watch. I'm kind of an Android guy, but anyway, you can go back and watch the video, and you can watch it in high def. And you can go back and say, "Hey, listen, you were wrong." So anyway, yep, she's excited, Diane. Yes, she is. She's ready for new school. We're ready. Kick her out. This homeschooling thing is not for me. Bingo board. Could be fun. Cool, Whitney. What's cooking? Yeah. Hey, Jim. Yes, they got their hurricane. I think it weakened luckily down. I have not followed much as far as damages. Let's see if we can see anything. Trail discussion. This is Reuters News here, showing a little bit of the damage. We'll take a look. This is Bangladesh, India areas. We had our super typhoon make landfall a couple days ago. There's some damage, no doubt. This is Reuters news coming in. This is showing. I'm sure it's a lot worse in some spots here. Look at that. That definitely. But luckily, it did weaken some before it made landfall. So Seems like, you know, there's a picture of it before it weakened, but it seems super cyclone. I don't know what I said. I think that's what I said, Billy. I don't know. Still in my first cup of coffee, but you know, the interesting fact last year that came out that every Category 5 to hit land was a tropical storm within 3 days in the United States. So I think the number one thing we've all learned, and we saw it now with Amphan, tropical cyclone, is that you don't want them peaking at the wrong time. When they peak, they just can't hang on to that intensity very long, and they weaken. So luckily, this storm peaked into a Category 5 equivalent and weakened before landfall. Some, and you know, Florence did that. We saw every storm ramps up, and then luckily hopefully they you know, unfortunately for Michael, it ramped up at the wrong time. So anyway. All right, anything else cooking? Yeah, Betty, I believe you're right. It did go down around a 2, maybe. So I'll share that Michigan link, by the way. We had the fans share some of the footage from the dam breakage failure. So anything else on Twitter we need to look at? Here's your South Florida. Interesting. Talking a lot about thunderstorms in Florida today. They're predicting a lot of lightning. So there you go. South Florida going to get storms today. We can zoom in. Let's take a look at that. Michael. Yeah, we don't want to talk about Hurricane Michael. But let's take a look real quick at South Florida real quick, just to get an idea what kind of storms. They're talking about a lot of lightning. Thunder. Oh, here's your lightning forecast. This is cool. We haven't used this year. Bam, look at that. That's cool. We haven't used this all year. Look at that. That's your lightning forecast through tonight. So that's your lightning. Crazy, huh? That's why they're saying a lot of lightning in Central Florida. Central Florida eastward, a lot of lightning today. There it is. That's official. And then, of course, the rains come later in the day. As they develop. There's your big cluster. Sea breeze. Look at that. Boom. This is this afternoon. And they're going to just kind of hang around. They're not going to move much. So seems like we get the lightning on the storms that don't move very much. So that's your storm threat smack dab through the middle of Florida. I-4 South. All right, anything else cooking I can answer for everybody? Jim, it doesn't look like I can get much rain up in North Florida for a while. Especially through Memorial Day. Huh? Live. Oh, I have a live. Oh, I just got reminded I have a live. I got 2 minutes. Will you grab the iPad for me? Cool. My daughter saves me again. Unbelievable. She just reminded me we have school. All right. Hey, listen, thanks everybody. That's correct, Cindy. 3 or 4 o'clock. I'll upload this up to YouTube. Yep, and we'll do a replay at noon. We appreciate it. Thank you, all of you fans. And let's hope the rains stop in the Carolinas today. That's the big story we're watching. So, all right, we'll see you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.